I want to have freedom. So I want to hire more people that don't know what they're doing to surround me every day. That's like saying, hey, I want more freedom, so I'm gonna have 10 more kids.
We see the change they need to make before it becomes apparent to them. Just hire more people. That's what we are told. If you just hire more people, it will get easier. Not always the case. Sometimes you hire more people and somehow it gets actually worse. You got more payroll, more personalities, more questions, more meetings, more decisions. Somehow hiring more people doesn't always let you scale better. Sometimes it's just a more expensive version of dependency and you crash and fall. So we're going to talk about what you need. What are the levels of support that you actually need? And we're going to kind of do a support audit here in this episode. So Brad, take it away.
Yeah, so that is funny you say that, because how many times have we heard from people, coaches, just recruit yourself out of a job, right? Just keep recruiting, just keep hiring, just keep going. And that's one that they need to hear, that having more is not more, right? So a lot of agents build teams because they think they wanted freedom. Like that was their goal. I want freedom. So let's really break that down. I want to have freedom. So I want to hire more people that don't know what they're doing to surround me every day. That's like saying, hey, I want more freedom, so I'm gonna have 10 more kids, right? Like, and I know it's a really bad analogy. I'm not trying to make agents to kids kind of thing, but really let that sink in. I've got 10 kids, so now I have more freedom. No, you need to actually ask yourself like what you want and how it's going to give you freedom and build to that, instead of just saying, I want to have freedom, I'm going to build it. So listen, now, I don't know. People just got to manage their emotions and shit, dude. It's just getting out of hand that people think they need to build themselves out of freedom.
And I think that like, does the math, like as I'm building this, does the math, does it make sense? You know, one of my favorite things to do with my clients is we go, all right, like what's the next plateau we're going to get to? In other words, like, so we're climbing. Hey, if I get 2 more agents, I'm going to be able to increase my income, but also I don't have to add any staff yet, right? I can get 2 more agents without upgrading my software. I can get 2 more agents without having to hire an office manager, right? So I can get to this place, put some cash in the bank, get everything really, really dialed in. And then we got to go from 15 agents, we got to get to 25. That's going to be a big jump because I got to hire a manager. I got to hire this, right? Like get clear on what those levels are and just adding for the sake of adding. But here's what you and I are going to get into is what are the other areas of support you need as you build a team? So most agents get clear that they need, a transaction coordinator. They need, people that are helping buyers, maybe an ISA, they need a marketing person. Like they have some of those roles dialed in, yet that's only one level. And high operators, the people that you and I get to work with, they have people that are working, for them. They have people that are with them, and then they have people that are above supporting them. So most agents just think about support the wrong way, and they don't think about the 3 or 4 levels of support they need. So we're going to break that down.
Yeah, dude, that makes sense, because listen, I mean, I get it. If you're buried, if you're tired, like you want relief, but like relief actually isn't what you're looking for. You're looking for leverage. And there's a big difference, because again, so many people want to add more agents, but imagine if you coached up the agents you had to do 3 more deals each. Then you don't need more bodies. You just need your bodies to do more. And I like what you said, because there are different levels. I've got staff that honestly, their job is to check boxes and to put stuff in certain things every single day. And they're good at it and they're very detailed. I've got staff that are there to like take the puck and run. Like they're like, hey, this is the goal, go. And I've got staff that are like, hey, how can I help? Like, what can we do? So you're exactly right. You don't always just need task doers. And sometimes you don't always need thinkers either. So I'm interested to get into this audit, because I think it's going to help a lot of people really see the true colors out there.
Because as you're growing, if you feel less freedom and more trapped, that's not really working, right? Because you built layers of dependency, not layers of support. So if every decision has to go through you, if every conflict has to go through you, if the standards are unclear, if every team issue has to go through you, right? Like all of that just means you have a massive amount of team dependency, which is very, very heavy. So let's talk about the layers of support, and we'll give you some of the framework for the 3 layers of support that you really need. So the first thing is you need, like just what we're talking about, you need people support below you. And it doesn't mean people are better or worse, but we're just thinking about this like as in frames of business. This is the execution support. This is the admin, the transaction coordinator, the marketing assistants, the showing partners, right? Those are the people that they're the support of the business. They're executing everything that needs to get done for the business, right? And your job is to eventually create management and help manage those people, but that's the first level of support. Most people have a bunch of that in place.
Yeah, and that's where I think a lot of people get like frustrated, because they'll say like, hey, I hired someone, but now I have to babysit them, right? And sometimes it's a people issue, we get that. And sometimes it's really a process, a clarity issue, because you hired somebody because you think you need a TC. You think you're so busy, you can't do check boxes or something. But guess what you didn't do? You didn't explain to them what that type of counter was so they can check the box that goes with that type of counter. You're just assuming they can do it. And you hired people before you actually designed the role. You're like, I need a TC, and you're going to do this, and you do this. Oh, and you're going to go show houses. Well, is that what a TC does? No, you didn't define your role, and you didn't define the standards that person needs to work around and what they can do for you. So I think a lot of people get that wrong, and they get frustrated because how many people have you seen, Wayne, they hire an assistant, and then they're so pissed at their assistant a month later, like, they don't do shit. They don't do anything. They can't. Yeah, they're not in real estate, dumbass. Like, they don't know.
Like, and here's the thing: as you look at the people you brought on, it's gonna take a minute to raise them up.
Yes.
And I think people go, "Oh, I hired a buyer's agent or I hired a showing assistant. Thank God that's done." But did you teach them how to do the job? Right? Like write this down. Every frustration is an indication, right? Like, I don't know how that showing went last weekend that Pam did. Well, did you set expectation that after every showing, Pam needs to send you a note with answering 3 questions? What did they like, not like about the house? Do they want an offer? What's our next step? Like, you should tell me that. But here's the thing, even with the showing assistant, like you did, and I remember you talked about this, years ago. It's like, no, has anyone ever taught you how to open a lockbox? No, so you get your first showing and you fumble the thing, right? Like calling tech support, right? Has anyone ever shown you like how to show a house? We take it for granted. Like, hey, here's how I open doors. Here's how, like, you need to set expectations for that showing partner. And guess what? It's probably half an hour of writing stuff down or talking to Claude to get it done, and then take them with you on 2 showing appointments. Then they're good to go. We're not talking about 18 months of raising them up, but a little bit. So I think the biggest misnomer is I hired them and I get a hot potato. No, you hired them. Now gently hand them the baby, make sure they know how to hold the baby. Then you can step away after a while. So like that onboarding is huge when it comes to support.
Well, I think people also have to realize the human psyche when it comes to learning things. You have to teach them, then you have to show them, and then you have to reinforce it, right? And by reinforce, I mean, give them access, right? Give them a reminder, a book to go through, because that's how I do it. We have a book it's called How to Do Effing Everything, right? Yep. Depending on what your role is. I will teach it to you. I will teach you the contract. I will do that. I will write your first several contracts. And then you have videos of me explaining the video of the contract. So if you need to go back and refresh it before you start writing offers. But, funny story, I have a mortgage company and my lender's in my office, and he walked in the other day. He's like, dude, I got an agent that called me the other day, not ours. He goes, she asked me where she should submit the offer to. He's like, what do you mean? She goes, who do I give the offer to? He's like, what do you mean, like, you have an offer on a house, but you don't know where to, that team leader it's a very big team in our market, did not ever teach this person. Now they're writing the offer, but they didn't know what to do with the next. That dawned on me about 10 years ago. And I literally had to draw. That's what you're talking about. Like, drive to the house. If you're going to make an offer, come back to the office. Here are the forms. I would tell you people to go to lunch, and light bulb moment for me, because I thought everybody was already past that step, but they're not.
No. Yeah. So it's like, I do it. You watch me do it. Right. Then we do it together. Then I watch you do it. Right. Then I can go away and then check in. Right. So it's like, make sure you have those levels. So you got those. And then here's layer 2. And this is the one where people start dropping the ball. Layer 2 and 3 is what most people don't have in place that you and I see. Right. Layer 2 is peer support. And peer support is business owners. It's other leaders that are doing what you're doing. It's not necessarily people that are way ahead of you, but it's people that are on the trail with you, right? Like, I have several other coaches and business owners, and like Mark Humble and Hank Avink and mother others, like, where we're all kind of we're doing better, and we're all kind of in the same game, right? So we have set calls where we get together once a week or once a month, depending on what it is, and we talk about like what's working, what's not working. I need help with. I wanted to punch a baby last week. How are you? Yep. But you need to have those people that are carrying some of the similar pressures with you. And that's what, for us, like, that's E4, E5. That is the tribe calls we do every week. That is a lot of our EXP family. It's those people that are on the trail with us, that are supporting us, and we're supporting them.
And I think this matters more than people know. And I mean, I know it's changed my business, and it really started changing my business when I got on airplanes, because as soon as you're on an airplane and you're with you go to meet somebody, they'll give you whatever you want, because you're not in their backyard, right? So like, it helps because you are not the first one to have a team, or have this issue, right? And there's a lot of people who've been doing it longer and have more scars than you. So why? So, I mean, especially like when your team needs answers, how to help with your clients' need decisions, family, like, hey, I'm going through an issue. My teenager's doing this. Like, you can't talk to the people that work below you on that. But you can definitely be like, hey, how do I show up for the kids' games and still try and make enough money to pay my mortgage, right? How did you figure that out?
Yep.
And, or if like I need production or I need a fucking break. And so like, one of the stories that pops in my mind is how we helped one of the agents that was in our group. She took 6 months off from her brokerage. She owned it, but she didn't think she could do it. But after we all sat there and talked, it took months. We're like, hold on, you've got this, you've got that, you've got them, you've got the cash, you don't have to show up. She's like, I actually don't have to show up. But she thought she had to show up. And guess what? She took 6 months off, and I think it was right after her kid. And I'm pretty sure I haven't seen her since. I'm just kidding. But I know it's been
because of structure, because of the peer support, because of seeing it, right? So like you absolutely have to have peers, which and things. But then here's the thing: you need one more level, and the level above you. Here's the problem with peers. Peers will buy into your bullshit. Right. Peers will be like, you know what? It is hard. Right. I am busy. You know what? Like peers are amazing, but they'll buy your bullshit a little bit.
The
you know what I
market
mean?
sucks, right?
Right. The market does suck, but so like what you need to get is a coach and an advisor above that. Right. So you have your coach and your advisors, you have your peers, and you have your support system and the people that work for you. Right. But you better have a coach and advisor that goes like, man, did you say 20? Because I heard you, I think I heard you say 40, because 20 sounds really little compared to what your abilities are, right? Like one of my clients this morning goes, yeah, but the market's really bad right now. And I go, is it? And I go, what are the numbers this year, compared to last year? He goes, I don't know. And I was like, well, then how do you know the market's bad? Well, everybody's saying the market's bad. Well, is it or not? I don't know if it is or not. Like, maybe it is and we need to adjust the strategy. Maybe it isn't. But like, I don't know. And clearly you don't know because you're buying into all the bullshit that your peers are saying. So let's go look at the actual math. Is it good? But you better get a coach and somebody that, and here's what I love. I love this quote. The gift I give to my clients, the gift we give to everybody at E4 and E5 is you and I see more and before. Right? We see more in them than they see in themselves. And we usually see before they see. We see the change they need to make before it becomes apparent to them, right? We see that where the financials are not going to work out before they see it, right? So we see more and before. So you better have a coach in your corner that sees more and before. And you got to have all three levels. Most people have one, maybe two. Very, very rarely do you and I come across anyone that has all three dialed in.
Or the worst is they're trying to use the peer with the people that are supporting them, right? And it makes a toxic work environment, and it's like playing down. These are not lesser than people, by the way. We've talked about that. That's why you're very glad. I do feel weird about it. But like, these are people that are not in your shoes, that don't have to write the checks, that don't have to show up on Saturday when the water's flooding or the alarm's going off, right? So you got to be careful who you're bitching to and what you're buying into. Because people that are selling below you are going to think the market sucks. You have to see it as an opportunity, and then you have to seek on how to make it better. And so that is why you need those three layers. I wholeheartedly agree with you. And we have so many stories of, somebody being like, hey, I need to get some more cash out of my brokerage. We're like, have you thought about this fee? And they're like, oh, it'll never work. I'm like, try it. They did. And they're like very thankful for that. Right. Or we have some clients that are some team members some E4, E5 members that are more butt and seat kind of people. And so they can only make money when their butt's in the seat because they're kind of consultants and everything else. And hey, I need a break. I can't work 8 hours straight. Well, what if you raised your prices just a little bit, 10%, but then cut out an hour of seeing people so you could have an hour back? Like, oh, I never thought about that. So you're exactly right.
One of our clients, what he did was he just cut every appointment by 10 minutes. Right? He was doing hour appointments. And we go, what if you just stopped them at 50 minutes? And you had 10 minutes to take a break, drink a glass of water, make your notes, whatever it is. And like, it was this huge epiphany. And all of a sudden he gets to charge the same. He's actually having just as good conversations. He's just being more effective and efficient in them. And that 10 minutes is huge for him. You know what I mean? But that was an aha he had that needed to come outside of him. Here's one of the biggest mistakes I see making. I got a client that's making this right now. Actually, I need to have a conversation with him about this week because I'm coaching him and I'm coaching some of his people. The mistake he's making is he's using his support as his coach. So he's going to his support and going, what if we did this? What if we did this? What if we did this? I think it was and he's using them as like his sounding board and his support. And they're like, this guy's crazy. This guy's all over the place. This guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing, right? Because he's using them as his sounding board and he's using and I'm like, those are conversations he needs to have with you and I, not with that team, because it's making him look inconsistent and frantic and all over the place, when really he's just trying to think and process up, but he needs to do it with his coach and maybe his peers, definitely not his support team.
Yeah. And I think this is, going back to the coaching thing and like what you're talking about is like a lot of high performers think that if like I go to therapy, I only go to therapy if I got something wrong, or I only need a coach if I'm trying to solve a problem. Bro, that was the best lessons I learned is like, that's not actually when you need it. That's like saying I'm going to marriage counseling because we're about to get divorced. My wife will tell you they're pretty much divorced at that point. I mean, if they're coming into marriage counseling to save the marriage, it's very, very, very hard to save a marriage. Same thing. If you're having a problem with an employee and then you hire a coach, damage is done. But if you start talking to a coach and start showing, hey, this is happening, the person that's been there for can kind of help you get through it. So, I mean, I think you should use coaching all the time. I think if you're not using coaching, you're not stretching yourself, and you're falling into a rut that you're listening to your own bullshit. And so like, I think you need a coach when you don't need a coach, and then you need two when you need one.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's my call to action for everyone that's watching this. Write out your organizational chart. But here's what I want to say on your organizational chart. Instead of you, and then it trickles down, I want to put you more in the middle of that page. It's you're in the middle, right? And then you've got my integrator, my executive assistant, my team members. But then in the middle, right next to you, I want to see your support team. I want to see who are your peers, who is your Brad and Hank and Joel, like who are the peers that are with you on the journey. I want to see that right there. And then I want to see who's pouring into you. Who are your coaches, mentors, trainers, whatever's pouring into you. So our org charts are usually us, and then they flow down. I want you to be in the middle of that. Who's supporting you? Who's with you on the journey, and then what does your team or organization look like? And that's the org chart that I would love. And for right now, there's gonna be some blanks, right? If you don't have 2 or 3 peers, it's like peer 1, peer 2, peer 3, right? And you better go find some people to put in those slots.
Well, and I can hear some team leaders now being like, I'm not paying people, so I'm not paying for that stuff, right? But think about that. You're charging agents to work with you, but you're not willing to pay somebody else to get to the next level. And again, I think that chart not only needs to be the real estate coaches, but financial advisors, right? Therapists.
Yeah.
My gym coach, whatever that is, personal trainer, like all those people, like you've got to have all those facets built out, or you're going to see a weak spot. And that's where you're going to see a layer breaking down. So quit being cheap too. And I'm not saying that
you'd never put your kid on a sports team that didn't have a coach. You're like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Right. Stop doing your business.
Yeah. No, I get it. And so listen.
And if you need peers, get to E45. Go fill out the application. And if you're a good fit for it, we'll give you all the information and come, because we built a peer group and a support group and a brilliant group for you. So if you don't want to go build it on your own, just come be part of ours. If you're not an asshole and you're the right fit.
Maybe you're an asshole. Maybe.
We did let ours truly in there. So there we go. All right. Go get Untucked.
Hey, real quick, if you're liking this content, imagine having a full day immersed with people that are on this, like us, that are learning from each other.
Man, we do these kind of events, these intensive, a couple times a year, and if you know that you are the smartest person in the room and you need to get in some other rooms, this is the place to be, right? So apply, send us a message right now, we'll send you the application link, and see if you are the right fit to be in one of the rooms.